their government shut them down.
All right, businesses now slowly trying to open up across the nation. In some states, lifting some restrictions, others not. And the debate continues, especially in states like Michigan. Joining us now, radio talk show host Tony Katz, heard worldwide on the internet, as well on WIBC in Indianapolis. Good to see you, sir, as always. Are we getting to the point where Americans are sort of saying to themselves, I really don't care what the government says, I just want to do what I want to do and get my life back?
No. I don't think it's that angry. It is the idea of government handled this wrong. We can actually handle ourselves. It's I think a big difference there. I think the anger is in the idea that you told us that lockdowns were the way to keep people safe, but lockdowns don't actually keep people safe. You can argue social distancing might engage safety, but the people believe they're capable of handling it. Costco figured out how to do it as you enter the stores. So did other stores. I went into a Trader Joe's yesterday. They were letting people in as they were letting people out. The line was 100 people long. So yeah, the market can handle these things and they don't need government to handle it. It's when government gets to the idea that if you open up your salon because your staff needs to feed their hungry children, as we're talking about Shelley Luther in Texas, and a judge says, no, you go to jail, or, if you apologize, then maybe you just get a fine. That's when Americans say, yeah, we don't want any of this. That's why Shelley Luther is out of jail. Is
there a danger here if people are continued to be locked down and sort of continue to ignore things, as we saw with Shelley Luther, as we've seen in other states and with other issues, that then on the really important points, people then don't listen to the government about, say, what you were talking about, social distancing?
I don't think it's a question about listening to the government. I think there are plenty of people who just don't listen to anything. I think there are plenty of people, shockingly to me, who are willing to sit at home, wear their government-appointed gray garb, and await further instructions. The rational people are the ones who recognize they can walk and chew gum at the same time. There's that story out of California where California doesn't want people involved in those little kind of parades that go along. They drive the cars around and they wave at their students or this, that, and the other. What a ridiculous concept, and that Americans are saying, yeah, we're going to do this, and yes, government, you're stepping way over the line. That's rational thinking from rational people.
The local police chief seemed to agree with your idea that was a ridiculous rule. As we put up the maps of places that are open and not open, and states that have begun to reopen and some that have not. Red is partially reopened. Yellow is limited reopening. You can see, is this a blue state, red state issue? Is it that simple when you look at the map?
One of the most awful things that we have seen from this is that coronavirus has become political and has gone down this road. It's awful. There's this two Americas conversation that really is happening. And one America says liberty, and another America says you're going to kill my grandpa because you're greedy and all you want is money. If you think America is yearning for haircuts, that's ignorance. America wants to be able to cut someone's hair and be able to then take that money and pay their mortgage. Those are different conversations. It's the Wall Street Journal opinion piece about how lockdowns are destroying us, and it's very true.
The answer on the other side, though, would be just have the government print more money, send everybody a $2,000 check every month who's out of work, and then we don't have to worry about anybody getting the coronavirus. We can all sit at home, in your words, in our gray T-shirts.
Right. Who knew that Kamala Harris was actually translated into Weimar Republic? Printing money doesn't work. We've got the history. We've got the data. What you have to do is what Senator Rand Paul said, is you have to open up the economy and let the economy do the job. People can be safe and can actually engage the economy. That doesn't mean that people who are really susceptible, you read Dr. Louis Profeta out of Indianapolis, one of the 12 doctors most recommended on LinkedIn, people who are susceptible, people who are older, people who are elderly should indeed separate themselves. There are smart things to do, but young, healthy people, they should get out.
You have been one of the very earliest proponents of this, really since the beginning. You were questioning whether or not the government-mandated lockdowns, number one, were reasonable, number two, were economically viable. You have remained unchanged in those thoughts as the world's come around to a lot of your thinking. Tony Katz with us from Indianapolis. Shabbat Shalom, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
That's the plan.
Take care. Jillian?
Well, millions of renters are falling behind on payments across America this month. Folks who've made monthly payments for years and even decades are now struggling after being furloughed or even fired during the pandemic. Elise